I think that a majority of the science students would find museums and collections a good resource for them if they knew about it, because the museum is separate. The museum is sort of where everybody goes and all the tourists see all the normal things, but when you come behind the scenes and you see all the cool data that we actually have and all the cool species we have, it'll just get kids more excited about it and excited about researching all this in the future.
You know, I don't think that most undergrads know that, you know, the museum collections on their campuses are so readily available for them to use. It's just, I think, a matter of outreach. I think it should be more widely advertised.
When I tell my friends that there's tons of species in collections at the museum, they're like, what? No way, because nobody knows that it's here, that we have 3 levels of this. But that's the issue, because it's not even exposed to anyone else besides the people who are internal to the museum.
I think knowing about collections would be valuable, because there are a lot of things about collections that can be used, and they can be approached in lots of different ways. Like, what I used the collections for was predominantly to get DNA samples, but in terms of looking at morphology over time or approaching large-scale questions, it can be done, because collections, you know, the purpose of them is to collect animals or plants over time. So you can ask big-scale research questions, and that can be a project that can be readily done in an undergraduate classroom.
I think that rather than our labs for undergrad biology being just discussions about classwork, I feel like maybe come here and maybe watch people prep animals or help install or something. I think that would benefit us more because it actually puts things into context and makes it real.
I know that in my classes when we were doing labs, a lot of the information and all the data was just kind of given to us like a number. It wasn't necessarily a you go through it and figure it out yourself, like how realistic projects would be like. So giving kids opportunities to go through all the data and get their own statistics from it will help them out even more when they start approaching their own lab projects.
I think adding specimens to the classroom activities is just, it offers this really great hands-on experience, and you know, kids who are into science really like that kind of stuff, and just working with the actual bird in your hands is just, it's really cool. It doesn't matter that it's a stuffed bird, it's just, it was a living animal, and you know, kids who are into science know that there is so much value in museum specimens, and I think giving them the chance to like be in the collection and see all the stuff around them is just exciting. I remember my first time in here, it was after my specimen preparation class, and we had a little get together to see all of our stuff put together, and I was just like so excited. I was wandering around, and like our professors were like chasing after me, like, what are you doing? Don't touch that. And I was so excited to be in here, and I started working here shortly after that experience.